Tonight we are having tornado watches and it's very stormy, so I'm keeping up with the weather. I just wanted to show you guys, I know my video quality is not the best, so I splurged and I got a new camera. It's called a SooCoo. It is an action camera, so I can attach it to my helmet. And it's supposed to have a better resolution for filming action if I have it on a tripod. But here's what it looks like. It's very similar to a GoPro, but like half the cost. And all the reviews were really good for it. So we'll see. I hope it's good quality. But it comes with a waterproof case. And it comes with a lot of different attachments. This one's kind of cool to hook on like a rod of your bike or something like that. And it came with like 22 attachments, and I haven't checked to see what all the attachments do, but it comes with a nice case, and it comes with 2 batteries. The only problem that I saw in the reviews were the battery life usually only lasted about an hour to 2 hours depending on what resolution you filmed it on, so they were nice and gave you 2 batteries, so that's good. So I brought the new horsey home. Here's some video of me going down to Dothan and trying him out. But a little bit about the horse. He is a registered quarter horse. He's the first registered quarter horse I've had. Registered quarter horse that I have ever had. I've always wanted a buckskin for some reason, and since I was a little girl, and he was just adorable, and his conformation is really nice, and he's a foundation horse, meaning his lineage goes all the way back to the founding of the American Quarter Horse Association, which is more favorable for having a registered quarter horse. And I don't know much about the breeding of quarter horses, but his lineage, or pedigree, I guess you would say, is fairly decent. He comes from a nationally ranked horse called Pepto Boomsmall, and all of his foals were named after something that had to do with like Pepsid or you know, medication, like after Pepto-Bismol. So like one of them's like a little more Pepsid, that kind of thing. So it's funny. He's 3 years old. He'll be 4 in May. He is still a stallion. I plan to have him gelded if he passes his vet check. He's currently on a 1-week trial. And we get him checked on Wednesday. We'll just do some flexion tests. I'm not going to get any x-rays or anything. I'm not planning to do anything past training with him. Maybe a 1-star. I've always wanted to do a 1-star. So we'll see. Very excited. So he's getting along pretty good with the boys. I also wanted to see if he would be aggressive towards my older guys, especially Moon, the blind one. And the poor guy, he's bottom of the pecking order, even behind the little pony. It's kind of sweet. Comet, the one with the big white blaze, he's being really protective of Moon. So if his name is King Buck, so we were calling him Buck, but I'm probably going to rename him because I'm not too keen on that. But anyway, so if Buck gets close to Moon, Comet will get in between Moon and Buck and kind of chase him off a little bit, and so will the little pony. It's kind of funny. So here's some videos of when we brought him home and him meeting the new guys, and I'm gonna charge up my new camera, and I hope that it's as good as the review said it was.
Well, they wouldn't rear up and start doing all this number.
Why are they?
Would they?
What's the reason they do like that? I mean, he's just kind of breathing. He's not really.
That's just kind of what they do. Pony just thinks he's head honcho. They literally just had a pooping contest. Buck just pooped on top of Comet's poop. I've never seen a horse do that before. Pony. Isn't he just too cute? I just love him. I'm so excited. So this is the new camera. I like it a lot, but it was really dark when I tried to film some of our groundwork here in a minute. So sorry. I tried to turn the brightness up, but a bunch of storms were coming in and it was really cold. And he did so good for it being so cold and windy. But so here, what I'm trying to do is I'm encouraging him to step towards me if my shoulder is turned to him and I'm facing sideways to him, and then I ask him to back, and now I'm trying to get him to not take a step forward if I'm facing him. So every time he takes a step forward, I'm going to ask him to back up, and when he stays, I will turn my shoulder to him and then ask him to come towards me. So he's thinking about it, he's licking and chewing and yawning, and I'm rewarding. And now I'm asking him to disengage his hind end. So what I do is I put the pressure on the hind end, and I continue the pressure until he disengages and turns his head towards me. And his reward is to release. So here I'm asking, and he's just turning all feet. He's just turning circles, so I'm waiting until he disengages just his hind and I release the pressure. So he caught on really quickly. He hasn't learned any of this stuff. And now I'm asking him to move his front feet only. And here again, he's just moving all 4 feet. So I just continue to ask and keep the pressure on until he only moves his front feet, and then I let go of the pressure and reward. So you're about to see me ask him to disengage his hind end to one side, and then he instead follows with his head. So I ask him to disengage to the other side, and he'll bring his head back round, and I can go back to that side. So now I'm sending him off on the lunge line, and he's just had the basics of lunging. All of this is still really new to him, so when he tries to stop like he just did, I just ask him to move the haunches forward from behind. And I was very proud that he went over that pole. I don't think he has ever seen a pole in his life, so he did really well. He didn't leap it, he didn't lose his forward momentum and went right over. And I asked him to turn in towards me by bowing down and looking at his haunches. And then I asked him to change direction and go over the pole the other way. I'll show you more closely how I get them to turn in. So see, I bow down and put all my focus on their hind end and ask them to disengage their haunches from a distance. He will turn into me, and then I can easily ask him to change direction by sending him back out, opening the opposite hand and encouraging him to go forward from the hind end. So all of the work I did at the beginning all leads to this and keeps building upon you asking them to. He was such a good boy cantering over that pole like that. But it just builds upon everything you've done before on the lunge. So me asking him to come towards me when I have my shoulder turned, and we get a little stop. So he hadn't seen 4 poles in a row yet. There's 4 trot poles right there, and I did not get mad at all. I just kind of wanted to see if he would even do it. So what I'm doing is just getting closer to him and asking him to walk over them, and he's still a little confused. He stops halfway and turns towards me, so I ask him to come back out. And he gets a little too close for comfort, so I ask him to back away from me, and then I send him back over at a walk. So I'm asking him to back out, and then I'm going to send him back forward. And he did good. He walked right through. Sorry guys, a bunch of weather is coming in right now, and this is as bright as I could get this video. It was really dark. And he did so good for it to be so dark and cold. It's like 40 degrees at this time, and it's dark and misty. So I took 2 of the poles away, so now it's just 2 trot poles to not overwhelm him so much since he walked through the 4. So he trotted right through, and I asked him to turn in. And then I'm going to send him back out again. And he trotted right through, and I told him he was a really good boy. And we reversed and did it a few times the other way as well. But as I was saying, all the asking them to disengage from the hind and move their shoulder when asked, and having them step towards you when your shoulder is turned towards them, and to stand still when you're facing them. All of these little pieces of the puzzle can come together, and you'll be able to lunge a lot easier and ask them to change direction and do more obstacles on the lunge line. I'll do a video with Comet. He is a pro at this. He can do figure 8s around obstacles on lunge lines without me even stepping any which way. I can do it from a total standstill. So this guy, he's still green. He's still learning. He's 3 years old. But he's very smart. He's got a good head on him, and he learned a lot in just 30 minutes of working with him on the ground. Tomorrow we're going to go get our vet check. If he passes, he's going to get gelded, because he is still a stallion. Excuse me. So hopefully he'll pass his vet check. And I really do like this camera. I filmed all of this with that SooCoo camera. It's just, like I said, very dark outside, and I don't think any other camera could have done any better of a job. So, still poor quality, sorry guys, but it was practically night outside. It was really dark and cold and dreary, and I just can't praise this sweet little horse enough for doing such a good job. So please like, please subscribe, and stay tuned for our adventures.